Hey, I'm Sean Edwards, bringing you another episode of On the Set, where we take you behind the scenes on some of Hollywood's biggest movies and TV shows as I introduce you to some of the individuals who make it happen behind the scenes.
In Zootopia, anyone can be anything. In its 92-year history, Walt Disney Animation Studios has created a long and storied legacy of talking animal films. From Mickey Mouse's debut short, Steamboat Willie, to Bambi, Dumbo, The Jungle Book, Robin Hood, and The Lion King. Well, when you know it, Walt Disney Animation Studios is at it again, and they return to the wild with the feature film Zootopia. So Zootopia went bonkers in the box office, grossing more than $1 billion worldwide, and is now available on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital download. And before I tell you about some of those amazing features, I'm taking you on the set to Walt Disney Animation Studios to talk to directors Byron Howard and Rich Moore. And I'm going to see if they can even teach me how to do some of this ADR voice-over acting, so maybe I could be in the next Zootopia, because I know one is coming. So y'all stay tuned for this special edition of On the Set. At least according to the box office and the critics, I mean, it's everything that I would guess a filmmaker would want. Be critically acclaimed, to be successful, and have a wide audience. How does it feel now that y'all have taken a breath and is able to see the success of this project that y'all put so many years into?
Yeah, do you feel better? I feel better.
I feel better. I'm still a little nervous.
A little nervous, yeah.
I don't know why. But
Yeah, I don't know why. We should, yeah, we're relieved. Actually, it is great because, like, when the film came out, at first it got the critical reception, which was really nice. So that was more than we could have asked for. And then the audience really seemed to love it. And the fact that it did so well globally was great because it's we didn't know whether the message of the film would land with all audiences, but the fact that it's so universally understood, that people really love and embrace the characters, is very humbling for us, and we're very proud of the fact that it's done so well. So it feels great. It feels pretty great.
our little baby has grown up. It's out in the world.
It's traveled the world.
Yeah, it's traveled the world.
Yeah.
Now, the project obviously has legs and could go on to do more, but like when it's such a great reception for a project, is it almost like a given that you got to give it another shot, that you got to do another?
Oh, and like a sequel?
Yeah.
Too?
Just redo it.
We're gonna reboot
Make
it.
reboot.
I don't know if it's a given. I think it would come if there was interest, you know.
Well, there's obviously interest.
Yeah.
I mean, people gonna run out to get this DVD. Yeah, and
Well, we hope, but it's like I can only say, like, for myself, I love the world, I love the characters, like I love the group of people that we worked with. It would be so much fun to revisit it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like we all created this enormous playground together with so many fun things that we didn't even get to show you in this movie, and it's vast. It's actually like visiting. We were talking about this. It's actually like visiting a real city. Like the audience has gotten to kind of meet Zootopia and learn about it for the first time, but they haven't seen even the tip of the iceberg about what it could do. And there's so many great characters
and the first one, I mean, making this movie, we had to invent the world, as well as explore it. Man, it would be so much fun to now just explore it. Now that it's been invented, it would be great to go back and just kind of see more parts of it.
Tell the audience some of what they're gonna get with this DVD, because I grew up loving movies, and I remember watching like my first VHS tapes of Woman in Red and Purple Rain, and now DVDs have gotten so much more sophisticated with the filmmakers being able to talk about the film, and you'll be able to see like the whole creative process. What will the audience see when they take home Zootopia on Blu-ray?
There's a lot. There's a lot of
extra features.
A lot of extra features. Rich and I take you on a tour of characters that have been cut from the movie, and there were a lot. We took a lot out there.
I was surprised how many there were.
There's a ton.
Yeah.
Some really cool characters, and then we also talk about there's 7 deleted scenes that we put in on the DVD so you can see it.
And those kind of represent the stepping stones to get to the final movie.
Yeah.
Because we try so many different things, when crafting the story. That it's cool, I think, as an audience, like I always love that, being able to kind of see scenes and characters that that were part of the process of getting to the finished film.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of how the filmmakers thought, you know, and what they thought, you know, would work in earlier versions of the film. So I think that's really exciting for an audience to check that out.
It's deleted characters, my friend.
Yes,
That's
I
right.
love characters.
We love characters. Sometimes we love them so much we hold on to them for a long time, then we throw them out.
Good one.
And these guys, they didn't make the cut. They
No.
didn't make the cut, but don't worry, they're fine. They're
Yeah.
they're just wandering about Zootopia somewhere.
There you went, you little Dickens!
She had different jobs and
Yeah.
she made different appearances.
Yeah.
At one point, it was just a screaming old goat.
Yeah. Sometimes she would faint.
She would faint. She was a
goats will.
fainting old goat, but then she came back as a fellow meter maid.
Hey there, rookie. Keep it up, but in 50 years, you'll be promoted to this job.
Swinton was our villain in the earlier version of the story, and we did that because pigs are very intelligent animals, and we thought that'd be very interesting to make an intelligent pig the villain in the movie.
Both smart and tasty.
Yes.
Still a pig.
There was a sheep in the movie called Wooly who was doing all sorts of nefarious stuff, and if you've seen the final film, you know that sheep continue to do nefarious stuff in Zootopia, but this time he was hiding his identity with a corset, and he would tie himself up and he would make himself very skinny and wrap himself in an overcoat and put on a wolf disguise. So he was a sheep.
Sheep in wolf's clothing.
Yeah.
And with Disney having so much bandwidth and also this new deal with Netflix, is there any possibility that we could see this in a more strip cartoon series that kids could tune into, like, you know?
I like how you.
That's a
Tell me
good
more
idea.
about this.
I know my kids would love it. You
So
know, they
how would
watch
that
it.
work? What would the first episode be?
We got to put Flash. We got to give Flash more screen time. 'Cause, you know,
That's a good
It's a
idea.
lot.
That's so Flash. And
It
what
needs
would
a lot of
Flash
screen
do? Where is Flash?
I don't know what it is, but it'd be very slow. It would take a long time.
Yeah. So the episodes wouldn't be very expensive. It would just be Flash
No, it'd
in
just
one
be,
location, accomplishing
Tonight,
very little.
Flash walks across the room.
And wrap. Next week on Flash.
Join us next week when he finishes walking across the room.
You know, I started here on Wreck-It Ralph, and as a story artist, your job is to, like, you draw the scenes out, but you're also, like, questioning the story, and you're also an actor because you're drawing the scenes emoting, and then when it's time to pitch the scenes, you're, like, acting out the characters kind of too. And so whenever we make the films, we'll make rough versions of them first with just drawings, and they'll reach out to the different people at the studio and say, hey, we have this character, we just need some scratch temporary voice, can you come in and do it? So we'll all come in and do it, and then every now and then it'll stick. And so this was the case where they brought me in, and it was just going to be for scratch. And then afterwards they said, you know what, this voice, it's just dumb enough that it fits this character, let's leave it in.
So when you making a voice for Flash, how do you go into a sleuth's mind? Like, how do you decide to make this voice? Like, how do you go about constructing it?
So what was cool about that was, so, you know, they said, okay, we're going to have you come in and you're going to be a sloth. So what do you think? You're like, all right, sloths speak really slowly like this. But then when I got there, Rich Moore, the co-director of Zootopia, he was like, well, this is how the sloth talks. He speaks normally, but he just pauses between his words. And so I was like, all right, I got that. And so we worked on that, and every time I thought I was doing it right, he'd say, slower, slower, drag it out more. Until finally, I guess we got it the way he wanted it.
They're all sloths?
What, are you saying that because he's a sloth he can't be fast? Flash, 100-yard dash. Buddy, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Officer Judy Hobbs, CPD, how are you?
I am doing
Fine?
well. What
Hang in there.
can I do
Well, I was hoping you could run a play.
for you
Well, I was hoping you
today?
Well, I was hoping you could run a play for us. We are in a really big hurry.
What?
Well, I mean, it's really cool because I've loved animation my whole life, and I love all aspects of it. So this is a part I never thought that I would be part of. So it's kind of neat to see that, and it's fun to like, I think for the first time my mom kind of understands my job. You know, like she never understood any other part of it, but this she gets. Like I hear your voice, I'm looking at a character. And it's fun with like my nephews and nieces, like getting to like, we all get to pretend to be the character. So that's kind of neat, you know, that you're seeing how like something you worked on is like shared with the world.
Have to, baby.
And when we return, I am going to go in the voice recording booth myself and try this voice acting out and see if I can get in Zootopia too. But before we go there, here's a special clip from the DVD Blu-ray digital download of Zootopia in stores now,
a roaring
exclusively on
metropolis where
TV.
predator and prey
Check it out.
live peacefully, going about their daily business as they would in any other urban jungle. However, every city has its mysteries. Let's open up the ZPD forensic files and investigate.
I won't let you down.
Hidden Mickeys. Well, we don't have any eyewitness accounts of Mickey Mouse himself. If you pull out your magnifying glass, you may be able to spot him right here at the ZPD.
Oh.
Pull out your pen and write fast, because this movie is stuffed with them. Just when you think you've nailed them all, you may get one more lucky chomp and find another one.
Good one.
All right, so where am I standing for Q&A?
You guys are side by side.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Everybody good?
Okay.
All right.
Actually, you guys are gonna swap places.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Great.
I'm not used to being on anybody's right. All right. There you go.
And just be aware of that shadow when you cross over.
What shadow?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about? I'm a faceless animation actor, and this cements it.
So we're here in the ADR studio. This is where the magic happens for not just Zootopia, all these Disney films. A lot of them happen in here.
True enough. But Zootopia definitely started in this room, or at least my contribution to it, as Mr. Big was right here in this room.
And when you get the script, I mean, do you have any cues for how the voice should be? Like as a voice actor, how do you create that voice?
It depends. You know, there's certain times where I'm shown a model sheet of a character, and I sort of go, well, what would this? You know, let me fill that body up with whatever my interpretation of what he would be is. Other times there's something where it's just I am just following orders. In this case, Rich Moore, the director, just called me up and said, "Hey man, you do a Brando thing, don't you?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I've known him for 21 years. We started we started long before that, but we met on The Critic, and he knew I did all these impressions. So he said, "You'll get a call from your agent in a couple of days." Next thing I knew, I was in this room, and he said, "So he's he's kind of the Godfather, but he's his own thing too, and he loves his daughter." Yeah. So. The most important thing for me as an actor is always play the love with any character. Okay. So, he has this great turn where he finds out that Judy Hopps has saved his daughter's life, and he goes from this vicious killer. Although in my mind, he doesn't kill people. When he ices them, he just dunks them until they're really sorry. So that said, because there's no killing in Disney films. Right. But anyway, so when he finds out Judy saved his daughter's life, his heart opens up, and they become fast friends.
So look at this character and tell me, like, what's the elements of his voice? Other, the Brando thing, but you look at this little small, what is he? He's the Arctic...
He's an Arctic shrew. Yeah. And Arctic shrews in zoology are actually the most vicious predator out there. They're tiny, but they will rip anything apart. And they're relentless. I was told today that if you take 5 Arctic shrews and put like a bucket over them and leave them overnight, when you come back, only one will still be alive. Wow. And he's like the Bruce Lee of Arctic shrews. Wow. But I mean, they'll even tear each other apart. They are mean.
But there's the whole Napoleon complex. There's always somebody small and they bring in all this rage with them.
Certainly. And Brando played Napoleon, so that's a very apropos analogy. But yeah, he's tiny, but he's full of rage, and yet, there's a soft side to him too. I love the reveal of him, though, when those giant polar bear hands set him down. I love the fact that there's a wedding ring on Kevin the polar bear. It's like, immediately my mind went to, oh, he's got a family, so he's got to do this job and then go home to his wife and kids. He's just trying to support them. But he's got to explain what Daddy did today. Today I iced some people. But anyway, he's a tremendous character, and it's a lot of fun to play.
Well, you worked on a lot of projects, though. What's the feeling when it's a Disney animation? You know that these things are timeless, and that generations love all these movies. And
You know, you're working for the best of the best. When I walked in here and went, I'm going to get to be part of another one. I mean, I just come off of Frozen, where I had a small but very key scene as their father, and then I come into this, and it's a great, kind of contained but broad comedy character, and it's the real thrill of it is, for me, to realize that this camera, and there's a camera over there that will me as they film me, and I have a theory. I've never had a chance to ask Rich Moore, but I think those are my eyebrows. I think they used my eyebrow because my eyebrows get very wild very quickly.
Yeah.
I just had a haircut 10 days ago, and already the makeup person had to trim my eyebrows down a bit. So oh wow, they used my wild, crazy eyebrows for this character. I choose to believe that.
I'm gonna believe that too.
Whether it's true or not, I choose to believe yes.
You and Mr.
So
Big
there
here.
you go. They used a lot of my expressions, and so anyway, coming in here, just knowing I'm going to be part of this brilliant thing is an honor beyond words. Oh, look, there we are. There, you see, it's the eyebrows.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
those
they're
big,
perfect.
massive, crazy eyebrows.
They're perfect. So
That's
let's.
fine.
So how do we get into this voice? How do we get into this voice? Because I've never done voice acting, and I appreciate.
The first thing you do.
Like I need some balls in my mouth.
Well, you first of all, I started actually. The first take we did, I put cotton balls. You couldn't understand a damn thing I said. So we took the cotton balls out, but to do Brando, you got to physicalize his face. He had a very pronounced. His bottom jaw came forward of his teeth, his upper teeth like this. So you do that, and you kind of just send your voice across your teeth like this.
I'm gonna make an offer you can't refuse.
Come here. You come here unannounced on the day my daughter's to be married.
We're gonna try it for real now. Put on the headphones.
Oh wow! Okay, you're gonna get to be Mr. Big. This is cool. Watch this. First of all, you're gonna hear a pitch shift, so you're gonna hear your voice as it really is, and then the upper range.
Oh, I see.
I have to, baby. Daddy has to. Ice him.
Like that.
You have to ice him.
There you go. That's it.
Because I'm gonna make an offer you can't refuse.
There you go. So here's the line you're gonna loop. I have to, baby. Daddy has to. Ice him. So Frou-Frou, your daughter, comes in, and she makes this demand: no icing anyone at my wedding. It's a forgotten promise. His attitude is that he really doesn't want to hurt his daughter, but also
This is business.
Yeah.
So he has to. He doesn't want to hurt his daughter, but he has to. And then
ice him. He becomes the killer again.
Okay.
So, and you'll see a red line come across the screen and meet up with that red line, and that's when you start talking. It's timed, so you open your mouth at the same time as that red line hits the other red line, and listen to the rhythm. They'll play it once. Just listen to it for the rhythm and the speed.
Okay.
And then inform it with the intent of the character as you read.
Okay.
All right, Jamal, are you all set to roll it?
I'm all set. I'm all.
We got to get the pitch in there now.
There you go.
I'm all set.
Perfect. So as Maurice was telling you,
His voice is so deep, this isn't doing anything to him.
Yeah.
you know what?
I don't know.
Make it higher.
No, it's all right.
I have to, baby. Daddy has to ice him.
There you
Perfect. So I'm going to play it for you. Listen. The first time you're just listening,
Okay.
so that you can hear Maurice's timing and cadence, and then on the second time through, try to jump in and do it along with him.
There you go. And I'm going to lay out. Just go to the picture.
No icing anyone at my wedding.
I have to, baby. Daddy has to. Ice him.
What did we say? No icing anyone at my wedding.
I have to, darling. Daddy has to ice him.
A little faster.
A little bit quicker.
All right.
Anyone at my wedding.
I have to, baby. Daddy has to ice him.
Really
Come
good.
try.
One more.
All right. I have to, baby. Daddy has to ice him.
Oh my God! Perfect.
Nice. You hit it perfectly.
Bravo. Nice
That was
work.
great. I need to do.
No. If you
to me about the rug. I've got more rugs.
Daddy! It's time for our dance! What did we say? No icing anyone at my wedding!
I have to, baby. Daddy has to ice him.
No.
Wait, wait!
Nick had a great idea for a business, a money-making venture called Wild Times, where predators could actually take their collars off and behave like predators and chase things and go on this thing called a roller coaster, which is like a roller coaster that lets them roar and be themselves. And so it was a perfect money-making venture for Nick. However, he had none of this.
None of this.
None of this. No capital, no dinero.
None of the lettuce.
Poor. And he, as a poor guy, he needed to make some money, and he had to go to all these banks.
You know, they say you can't put a price on happiness, and I say you can. Bang! There it is. $19.95 a ticket. I have a building lined up. I have the plans. I have the staff. I have a dream. The only thing I don't have is a loan to make it happen, friend. Will you help me make it happen? Will you help me make it happen? Will you help me make it happen? I'm just gonna put it out on the table. You don't like mammals like me, and I do not like mammals like you, but what do we both like? We both like money. You have it, I wanna borrow it, and then we'll both make a lot of it. Desperate? I'm not desperate. I am desperate. Look, I get it. No one wants to throw money down a rat hole. By that, I meant no disrespect. They say you can't put a price on happiness. I say hogwash. What? Well, that was an unfortunate. Now, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I'm just going to leave. Over again.